Hi everyone, my name is McKenzie Vilardo, and I am presenting my marketing plan for Ameren Corporation. And I apologize, I have a cold, so I will try to get through this without coughing. I had two main motivations for looking into Ameren. I've looked into them in the past just in a simple business perspective, but I really wanted to look into a company that doesn't typically have to sell their product to consumers heavily. One that um, has like more of a service aspect to them. And that's not a typical company that has like a physical product that you can hold in your hand. Ameren is their CEO is Warner Baxter. There are four main sections to Ameren. It's Ameren, Illinois, Ameren, Missouri, Ameren Transmission Company, and Ameren Transmission Company of Illinois. Ameren, Illinois, and Ameren, Missouri are the main two that I'm going to focus on because those have direct contact with their consumers or the people, or in other words, the people that they service. Ameren services the larger portion of Illinois below the Chicagoland area, so that does not include Chicago, and the greater St. Louis area spreading out into parts of central Missouri. They have three main huge groups of population that they service, and that is the greater Champaign area, the Normal, or what most people think of as the Bloomington Normal area, and the greater St. Louis area. They also service several other large population groups throughout Illinois and Missouri. Later on in the slides, there's a map of their service areas. Champaign has grown. They're one of the larger growing areas in Illinois. They grew by 4% between 2009 and 2012. They have a very large population of white, black or African American and Asian population, and their minorities have been growing since since 2009. Normal in the Bloomington Normal area, they have also been growing since between 2009 and 2012, from 4.5% in population. And then the St. Louis area is actually a declining area. They have actually increased like very minutely in pretty much all of the other population demographics except for the Black or African American population. That has actually been the largest portion of their decrease in population from 2010 to 2015. Ameren has to abide by very strict government laws when it comes to their energy providers. These can be state laws or just general government laws for the United States. Illinois and Missouri have different laws, so they have to be really careful with their territories and what they are allowed to do. Illinois has a law saying that they have to allow customers to choose their energy provider. So although Ameren is the distributor, they do have to let the customer know that they can choose who actually delivers their energy, or not delivers, sorry, provides their energy. There are several different companies that do so in different areas, so they have to regulate that heavily. There's also government restrictions on pricing. in both states. They can only go over so much per unit that's consumed. So Ameren can only physically charge a certain amount, and then their energy providers get to charge an amount too. So Ameren has to try to keep the consumer's energy delivery low and be regulated by the government at the same time. They are also in a monopolistic environment. This means they're pretty much they are it in their service territory for the most part. And as far as new territories go, it would be mostly them buying out or building more transmission areas for energy delivery for new customers. This would be buying out other companies that already have that service territory, or simply buying out some of the energy providers as well, like the smaller ones, to control the pricing better. Ameren's mission, vision, and values. Their vision is leading the way to a secure energy future. Mission is to power the quality of life, and values are values. The way we do business include integrity, respect, accountability, stewardship, teamwork, and commitment to excellence. This is a slide on how I depicted Ameren's positioning. Basically, they have good customer service and less service interruptions when compared to other companies out there with similar restrictions that they have. This is the service map that I was talking about earlier. It actually shows Ameren's service territory and their rate zone map. You can find this on Ameren's website under their Our Service Territory tab. And you can kind of like play around with that tab and see the different rate zones and everything that they provide, and they have more descriptions on that. It's pretty easy to tell that the grayed out areas are the ones that Ameren does not service, which does include the Chicago area, so that just means that they don't service that area. Actually, ComEd does. And then it shows that the majority of the Missouri area is the greater St. Louis area, and Illinois is the central and southern Illinois area. So just to clarify, Ameren's more of a service company, so they actually are the distribution of electric and natural gas across Illinois and Missouri. They deliver to millions of customers. They actually own 3,300 miles of natural gas transmission and distribution mains. And their slogan is Focused Energy for Life. Basically, that's kind of their brand. They also, as far as pricing goes, they are very heavily regulated, like I explained earlier. So pricing isn't something that they can completely control. They can control it to a minute point, but they can't really control it as far as like on a case-by-case basis, because it's so heavily regulated. This is one of the most important parts to my presentation. Promotion is one of the biggest pieces to Ameren's marketing plan that they could implement to increase value. Ameren currently has several different energy efficiency savings programs, and they promote them a little bit, and you can find those on their YouTube channels, which is actually on this slide. Ameren, Illinois' individual slogan is Act on Energy, and then Ameren, Missouri doesn't seem to have a slogan, but they have similar promotions to Ameren, Illinois, and these are pretty big because this is kind of their quote-unquote way to help customers with pricing, which they aren't really like reducing price individually, but what they're doing is trying to give customers incentives to help with their energy consumption. So it basically, give them money back for changing appliances, and giving coupons for light bulbs, different light bulbs to save energy and things like that. They have several, excuse me, on their website, and they currently don't really advertise very much on this, except for on their YouTube channels, and then some people will see like billboards every once in a while and things like that. The next slide actually has a really neat video that I wanted to share. It's pretty informative, and if people knew more about the things that they do like this in the next video, they would probably have a better idea of what they can do to help their energy bill and other people's, and know more of what actually Ameren does for the community. I would recommend Ameren amp up their advertising for this marketing plan. For their financial projections, implement a budget to better be able to control how much is going out the door as far as commercials, outdoor media, radio, and other social media that does cost money, and also implementing budgetary line items that can help regulate salaries for potential changes in their marketing team, whether or not this is like revamping it or hiring more people. This could help implement better plans and put the word out there to their customers and their consumers, what they are doing and what they're doing for the community, and what they can do to help themselves as well. The implementation controls for this is they already actually have one in place that they could actually use by just putting a time restriction on it, and that would be distribution metrics with their meter readings. They actually have really smart meters out there right now, and they actually have an incentive for their customers to change to their new meters, which can actually help regulate that better, which can also help with the energy efficiency savings programs. Their customer metrics that they could use also is after implementing a marketing plan such as this, they could put a time frame on how many customers actually sign up for these particular promotions and actually implement them within a certain time frame. In order to do this, the Ameren will have to have time restrictions for them to be accurate. Otherwise, they won't get the proper feedback and financials at the end of the time frame, or at the end of the time that they implement the project. If you have any questions, you can comment on this post, or you can email me directly at mkvilardo, V as in Victor, ILARD as in dog O, at eiu.edu. Thank you, and my references are on the next slide.